Grace and peace, and a welcome to WWW Wednesday Word of the Week. I am your host, Minister Deon L. Patton, and today's topic is back to reality. As you can see, I am no longer in beautiful Destin, Florida. I'm back at work, which is a blessing in itself, but with that comes reality. And a lot of times we discover that there are things about our lives that we are not happy with. There are things that we want to change. Some are things that have recently become a problem. There are some things that we've been dealing with for a long time. There are things that we do not like about our lives, and nothing points those things out more than some time away on vacation. Because when you come back to your life. And I understand that it's easy to become discouraged in those things as we come back to reality. But I'm here to encourage you that God is still able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that you can ask or think. I think that many times in the body of Christ, we forget that, or we don't truly believe that. So if there are things that you want to change in your life, to fix your reality, to make it more of the way that you envisioned it years ago, the way you used to dream it would be years ago, I'm here to encourage you that your time is not over. It's not too late to have all that God has in store for you. So if you look at Ezekiel 37, and of course I don't have time to read it and go verse by verse. This is a very quick message that I have to get out to you. But take the time to read Ezekiel 37. It's where Ezekiel's dealing with the dead bones. If you do a real study, you'll discover that the dead bones really represented the dreams and the hopes of Israel. They were dead. They no longer believed that God was going to do everything that he said he was going to do. So if you're going to fix your reality, go back to reality and make it a reality worth living, the first thing that we're going to do is to put it in play. You wouldn't think that dry bones would be something that God could use. And I think that many times we have a limitation on things that we allow God to use. Is everything really on the table? Is everything in play? How are you going to play cards? How are you going to be in the game of life if you're not allowing God access to every part of who you are? I beg the question, if God isn't truly Lord of all, is he really Lord at all? We need to get to the point where everything is in play for God. We allow him to have access to every part of our lives. Put it all on the table. Typically, we allow God to be Lord over a percentage of our lives. You know, that God, I'll allow you to control this area, but there's no way that I'm going to leave my job. God, I'll allow you to control this way, but there's no way that I'm going to be happy if I can never have children. God, I'll allow you to have control over this and over that, but there's certain things that I've got to hold tight. There's certain things that I will not let go of. You've got to put it all in play. Whatever God says do, we have to be willing to do, because we put limitations on God. Well, this is exactly what I wanted. This is how I want it, and this is when. Who are you? Who gave you the authority to try to control God and tell God how he's going to work things out? You don't know anyway. God's plans are higher than your plans, and you can't even begin to comprehend all that God has in store for you, and you want to limit it with your finite mind, your human limited mind, when we serve the God that created the universe. No. Put it in play. Allow God to have access to every part of your life. And when you do that, you can then prophesy to death. You're able to take those hopes and dreams that have died and that have dried up and have no more value to you, that you've put on the back burner, that you've forgotten about. You can take those things and you can prophesy life to death. Prophesy prophesy to death. Go back and get your dreams. Go back and get your hopes. Go ahead and start that business. Go ahead and go back to school. Whatever it is that you've given up on or that you allowed to die, go ahead and prophesy to death. Speak life to the things in your life that you've allowed to die. God's not through with you as long as you have air and blood running through your body. God can do some things. So go ahead and prophesy to death. Speak to the dry bones in your life, allowing your hope to return. And then the last thing that you can do is prophesy to life. Now, there's nothing worse than praying and having God give you new wine when you still have the old dried up dead wine skins. It's going to burst and then you have nothing and you're no good to yourself or to anybody else. But if you allow God to give you new wine skins after you've prophesied to the death, then you can receive a blessing that you don't have room to receive. Watch this now. Having old wine skins and it burst, that means it's gone. There's nothing you can do with it. But if you have the new wine skins and you have a blessing that you don't have room to receive, that means I've got more to give to my neighbors. Not only am I good to myself, I'm good to you too. I have an overflow that I can allow the extra that God gives me to be a blessing to you. You've got to prophesy to life. If you look at what Ezekiel did after he prophesied to the bones and the skin began to come and the meat began to come and they began to stand, he acknowledged that there was no breath. So God told him to prophesy to the wind. Oh God, prophesy to the wind that what you need can come from the north, the south, the east, and the west. Command that the things you need to live your dream and to bring your dreams to fruition, command them to come to you from every corner of the globe. Once you're in position to receive, God has given you the authority to prophesy life into your own situation. Welcome back to reality. God's got great things in store. But you've got to put it in play. You've got to allow God access to every aspect of your life. And then you have to prophesy to death. You have to get to the point where you understand that my dreams are not going to die. I'm not going to let these things go. My hopes are not going to dry up. I'm going to prophesy life to my dead situation, and then I can prophesy life. I can allow those things to come to me that God has in store for me. Thank you for joining me today. Be blessed.